So welcome to another video, and in this episode we're going to take a look at the top 5 technical analysis indicators for you, or if you're a beginner or just getting started. Now keep in mind every indicator is unique, and what you need to do is find an indicator that makes sense for you specifically, kind of make a match. So if you're a beginner, you're just getting started, you don't know where to start, sometimes starting with one indicator, you might say, oh, I like this one, but I don't like that one. So just start somewhere. I'm going to give you some things to look at, and then we'll continue to evolve. So first things first, let's look at a charting platform. It's going to look something like this. Some of them will have just the area chart. And what I'm going to do is I will edit this. And instead of going to an area, I'm going to switch to candlesticks. So we're going to have candlesticks now. Now with those candlesticks, I will switch to a net change. Now I've got some colored candlesticks. You could tweak the colors to your liking if you like them a little bit different. But again, your charting platform might be a little different than mine. So I'm just here tweaking it a little bit based on what I like. Okay, so first off, as we look at the indicator, the first indicator out there, really, if you haven't noticed, it's price. Price is an indicator on its own, especially if you have it set up correctly and properly. And in fact, it is extremely powerful in the sense that you get a lot of data from price. So when you look at candlesticks, you've got the high, the low, the open, and the close, whereas with an area chart, line chart, you just don't have that. With price set up correctly, you do get quite a lot of power in that behind that indicator. Let's look at the second one here. The second one here is a volume. Volume is another important indicator that I like to use. This one, when we look at it, volume tells you how much power and how much strength the stock has. So as it goes up, there's more strong or strength coming in. What we're going to do is we're going to add in volume here. We'll check it out. Volume right there. And now what we've got is when that stock is pushing higher or lower, if you've got more volume, that means that move is more significant or that move is more powerful. You can put in any other stock in there. And what you'll find is if that stock is selling off and it's selling off on volume, similar to here, that means that stock is toast or coming down. So that's kind of one of the things to kind of keep an eye out and watch, that if you've got a lot of shares coming through and a lot of volume and the stock is going down, usually you'll see a continuation. That's an issue, right? And then again, stock went up on lighter volume, and then we continue to go down on heavier volume. So the stock is really trending to the downside. So that's kind of one of the things to watch out for. Okay, the third indicator here that I want to share with you is going to be the 20-day moving average. Okay, when we look at the moving averages, what it's doing is a moving average smooths out the price. So what you're going to get is kind of like general price movement within that, because here price is a little erratic. You can see it's going a little bit up, it's going a little down, a little up, a little down. So you've got a lot of erratic movement. So price is all over the place. So what we'll do is we'll add in a moving average. Okay, so I will type in a moving average. There's exponential and simple. I'm going to use the simple one for now, and we will add in a 20-day moving average. I'll also make it a little thicker so you can see it, and we'll leave it yellow for the time being. So now what this does is it smooths out this curve and this picture. So that way the price movements as you're going up, even though the price here went down, it's not quite the average price. Really, price is kind of moving in this way, even though we have some upper and lower levels in this zone. In general, price is kind of moving like this. So it also gives you an indication, are we trending kind of to the upside, or are we kind of trending now to the downside? So the moving average is quite powerful. By the way, I do want to give you some insight. If you like these indicators and these things, definitely check out our latest course on mastering technical analysis. Visit the website, tradersfly.com, and it's packed with 6 hours of these types of indicators, moving averages, and RSI, and much more. So tons of other material there. Check the links in the description below. Anyways, when we start looking at moving averages, we've got kind of a 20-day here. You could tweak the days, but I'm also going to show you the next one, which is the 50-day. So we'll look at the 50-day moving average, and we will add that in. So all we need to do is add another plot. We'll add in a moving average. I'll also use simple in this case, and we already have the 50 now. I will include it as kind of like a, let's go with more a bluish color. I'll go with also a strong one, and I will do it like this. So now we've got a 20-day and a 50-day. So one of the ways that you can start using this is also looking at them crossing. So if they cross over or through, that means what you're doing is you're getting a kind of a divergent move, meaning like things are spread out. The short duration indicator versus the long is kind of starting to separate or surpass. I'm going to tweak this one to a dotted line and make it a little bit less. So what's going to happen is, what you could do is look at the crossing over section here. So what's happening here is we've got a 20-day crossing the 50-day. So the 50-day is giving you the longer term. The yellow one here, or the 20-day, is giving you the shorter term. So what's happening is now, as the shorter term and the longer term, as long as this one is kind of above the other one, it's kind of in a bullish state. Okay, so what's happening is you're in a bullish state where the shorter term is above the other one. And the minute you're getting into the other one crossing, meaning now the longer one, the 50-day is above the shorter term, now you're getting into more of a bearish state or a downward momentum kind of. So that's one way to use it, is that as you see these crossing up zones, you've got a bullish movement. So again, we're crossing up here, you've got some bullish movements, but the minute they kind of cross down and the other one's above, you got some choppiness. So you can use it in that way. All right, so those are a couple of good indicators here. The last one I'm going to share with you is we've got number 5. That's Bollinger Bands for overbought and oversold conditions. And when it comes to Bollinger Bands, I will hide the current moving averages that I have here, just to give you a little insight, and we will add the Bollinger Bands. So again, I'll go into this and add a, actually we'll just add one here, plot Bollinger Bands. Actually, they're right there. And this is kind of a weird or funky looking indicator. And the way you can customize it is we can go to, let's say, a standard deviation. So what this does is it takes the standard deviation, or kind of like an extension of moves. We'll do a period of 20, and we'll leave it like this. I will also switch it to a little thicker so you can kind of see it, maybe that thick, and dotted so you can see it. So what's happening is, when you start looking at this indicator, if price is outside the range, and these expand and contract, if it's outside the range, they kind of show you these overbought or oversold conditions. So when you're at these levels where you're under that Bollinger Band, you're kind of oversold and price might reverse course. Or if you're in this upper zone right here, price might be overbought and then it pulls back. And you can see that's ultimately what happens. So the Bollinger Bands, what they do is they try to contain the pricing. So those are kind of a handful of indicators that I would look at. If you're new and you're getting started, obviously the course is going to have more insight and details. Truly encourage you to check that out, and you can always continue to learn and study more from our website, tradersfly.com. There's a lot of great free material there also. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely check out some of those indicators for yourself if you like looking at the charts and studying price action, price movement, and behavior. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.